Welcome back. Tonight, we're venturing into the shadows of the internet, where the truth hides behind every profile and message. These are not fictional tales, but chilling accounts of what happens when the digital world invades our reality. The stories you'll hear tonight all began on familiar platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where something sinister was waiting on the other side. Behind every screen name, there's a real person, or something pretending to be one. Inspired by true events, these stories remind us that some horrors can't be blocked or unfriended. So lock your doors, check your notifications, and prepare for social media stories that will haunt you long after you log off. Our first story is about Chloe, a cautionary tale of online connection gone terribly wrong. It's a story that highlights the importance of vigilance in the digital age, where the line between genuine connection and calculated deception can become dangerously blurred. Chloe was a young woman new to the city, eager to make friends and build a life in her new surroundings. Like many newcomers, she turned to social media and online platforms to connect with others, hoping to find people who shared her interests and values. She was optimistic and open-hearted, ready to embrace the opportunities that city life had to offer. One day, she received a friend request from someone named Leo. His profile seemed harmless enough, and with a shared friend or two, Chloe didn't hesitate to accept. It was a simple click, a seemingly innocuous action that would soon unravel into a terrifying ordeal. Leo's profile was perfect, almost too good to be true. It was carefully curated to present an image of an ideal companion, someone who seemed to align perfectly with Chloe's own desires and expectations. He listed shared interests, from hiking and photography to obscure indie films and a love for vintage bookstores. It felt like they were kindred spirits, destined to connect. They even had a few mutual friends, adding a layer of credibility to his seemingly genuine persona. Chloe felt a sense of comfort and familiarity, reassured by the fact that they weren't complete strangers. He sent a charming message, witty and engaging, immediately sparking a connection. It was the kind of message that made you smile, the kind that made you feel seen and understood. That initial message quickly led to daily conversations, filled with laughter, shared stories, and a growing sense of intimacy. They texted throughout the day, sharing details about their lives, their dreams, and their fears. He seemed incredibly attentive, always ready to listen and offer support. He remembered the little things she told him, making her feel valued and appreciated. He had an uncanny ability to remember every detail she shared, from her favorite coffee order to the name of her childhood pet. It was as if he was hanging on her every word, eager to learn everything about her. These conversations soon became the highlight of her day, a source of comfort and excitement in her new and sometimes lonely life. She looked forward to his messages, eager to share her thoughts and feelings with someone who seemed to genuinely care. However, there was one thing that always felt a little off. Leo always avoided video calls. Every time Chloe suggested it, he would politely decline. He always had an excuse about a broken camera, claiming his webcam was malfunctioning or that he was having technical difficulties. Sometimes he blamed it on bad reception, saying he was in an area with a weak internet connection. At first, Chloe brushed it off, attributing it to simple technological mishaps. She didn't want to seem pushy or demanding, so she accepted his explanations without question. But as time went on, Leo's questions grew oddly specific, venturing into territory that made Chloe feel increasingly uncomfortable. He started asking about her daily routes, wanting to know exactly when and where she went each day. He inquired about her favorite coffee shop, pressing for details about its location and the time she usually visited. He even asked about her friends, wanting to know their names, their occupations, and their relationships to her. One day, after she innocently posted a photo of her new houseplant on social media, hoping to brighten up her feed, things took a sinister turn. Almost immediately, Leo messaged. He asked, "Does it get enough sun in that window?" Then he added, "Your apartment faces north, right?" Chloe froze, a chill running down her spine. She had never told him that her apartment faced north. How could he possibly know? The unease she had been feeling began to morph into a gnawing fear, a sense of dread that settled deep in her stomach. It dawned on her that Leo knew things about her that she had never explicitly shared online, details that could only be obtained through careful observation and quite possibly stalking. Desperate for answers, she decided to run a reverse image search on his profile picture, hoping to uncover some clue about his true identity. The results revealed that the photo belonged to a German fitness model, a man who had no connection to Leo's supposed identity. Leo was a fake, a carefully constructed persona designed to deceive and manipulate. Panicked and feeling violated, she immediately blocked him on every platform, severing all ties to his fabricated world. But just moments later, a new message popped up from an anonymous account, sending a shiver of terror down her spine. The message read, "Did you really think it would be that easy to get rid of me, Chloe?" Followed by another, "Blocking me won't work." And then, the most chilling message of all, "I know where you are." The full weight of the situation crashed down on her. This wasn't just a case of being catfished, of falling for a fake online persona. This was something far more sinister. A stalker who was actively watching her in real life, using the information she had unwittingly shared online to track her every move. In a state of panic, she immediately called the police, desperately seeking help and protection. But without a direct threat of violence, there was little they could do, leaving Chloe feeling vulnerable and exposed. That night, unable to sleep, haunted by the feeling of being watched, Chloe tossed and turned in her bed, every creak and shadow amplifying her fear. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with a new Instagram notification, jolting her awake. Someone had tagged her in a photo, an action that immediately sent a wave of dread washing over her. It was a photo of her building, taken from across the street, the angle suggesting that the photographer had been watching her for quite some time. Her window was clearly visible in the shot, a stark reminder of her vulnerability. But it was the caption that truly sent chills down her spine. It read, "Nice plant, it gets plenty of sun." Chloe screamed, a primal sound of pure terror escaping her lips. He was outside watching her, his presence a tangible manifestation of her worst fears. The digital mask had finally slipped away, revealing the terrifying reality of her situation. What had started as a seemingly harmless online connection had spiraled into a real-world nightmare, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the digital shadows. Chloe's story is a chilling reminder of the importance of online safety and the potential consequences of trusting strangers in the digital age. It serves as a stark warning that sometimes the person behind the screen is much closer than you think, blurring the lines between the virtual and the real. Always be careful who you let into your digital life. And remember that online safety is not just a suggestion, it's a necessity in today's interconnected world. Our next tale revolves around Alex, a typical college student juggling classes, late-night study sessions, and the ever-present quest for viral internet fame. He's got that entrepreneurial spirit, that burning desire to leave his mark on the world, or at least on the trending page. Like many of his generation, Alex was chasing TikTok fame, believing that a single viral video could be his ticket to a world of opportunities. He envisioned sponsorships, brand deals, and a legion of adoring fans. The algorithm was his playground, and he was determined to master it. He brainstormed ideas, experimented with trends, and finally, he landed on a concept he thought was gold, a dance video with a spooky twist. He meticulously planned every step, from the music selection to the choreography. He chose a location that would amplify the eerie vibe, an abandoned hospital, its decaying walls and shadowy hallways providing the perfect backdrop for his ghostly dance routine. The air was thick with the weight of forgotten stories, the silence broken only by the creaks and groans of the aging structure. Confident in his creation, he edited the footage, added a spooky audio clip to enhance the atmosphere, and posted it with a catchy caption, hoping to capture the attention of the TikTok masses. He hit that upload button, a mix of anticipation and anxiety swirling within him. Overnight, the video didn't just get views, it exploded. The algorithm gods had smiled upon him, the view counter climbed at an astonishing rate, comments flooded in, and shares multiplied exponentially. Alex was on the verge of achieving his dream. But amidst the celebratory comments and congratulatory messages, viewers began to point out something strange, something unsettling in the background of the video. It was subtle, easy to miss, but once noticed, impossible to ignore. A tall, shadowy figure lurking in a doorway just at the edge of the frame. It was indistinct, almost like a trick of the light, but its presence sent shivers down the spines of those who saw it. Initially, Alex brushed it off as a trick of the light, a figment of overactive imaginations fueled by the spooky setting. He attributed it to the low lighting and the grainy quality of the footage. But the hospital ghost, as it was quickly dubbed, became an internet sensation. Memes were created, hashtags trended, and the video's popularity soared even higher, fueled by the mystery surrounding the shadowy figure. Soon, the figure wasn't just in the original video. It began appearing in his other videos, seemingly uninvited, a silent, spectral guest star in Alex's online life. It was reflected in his dorm window during a late-night study session, a dark silhouette against the glow of the city lights. It lurked in mirrors, a fleeting glimpse in the reflection as he brushed his teeth, a constant reminder of its presence. It even appeared in crowds, a tall, dark shape standing just behind him, barely visible amidst the sea of faces. Alex's followers were obsessed, captivated by the mystery of the hospital ghost. They were hooked, and Alex's follower count grew exponentially. They were combing through every frame of his videos, analyzing every pixel, determined to uncover the truth behind the ghostly apparition. They felt like digital detectives, piecing together clues in a virtual investigation. But what started as a fun internet mystery soon became a terrifying reality for Alex. The haunting wasn't just online anymore, it was becoming real. He started seeing the figure not just in his videos, but in his everyday life. A constant, unnerving presence that followed him everywhere. He would catch glimpses of it out of the corner of his eye, a fleeting shadow that disappeared as soon as he turned to look. He was constantly feeling watched, a sense of unease that permeated every aspect of his life, growing increasingly paranoid with each passing day. During a live stream, while interacting with his fans, his viewers suddenly exploded in panic, their messages flooding the chat with urgent warnings. The chat was spammed with messages like, "Alex, behind you! Look behind you! It's right there!" In the reflection of his computer monitor, clear as day, the viewers could see what Alex couldn't. The silhouette stood directly behind him, a menacing presence looming over his shoulder, its dark form a stark contrast to the bright screen. He screamed, a primal reaction to the sheer terror of the moment, and frantically turned on all the lights in his room, flooding the space with artificial brightness. But when he spun around, nothing was there. The room was empty, devoid of any presence, human or otherwise. Yet, thousands of viewers had seen it live, a collective experience of terror witnessed by a digital audience. Utterly terrified and desperate to escape the escalating horror, Alex deleted his account, severing his ties to the online world that had spawned this nightmare. He was hoping to end the nightmare, to banish the ghostly figure back to the digital realm from whence it came. For a few days, things were quiet, an eerie calm that settled over his life, a brief respite from the relentless haunting. Then, walking home alone one night, the silence was shattered, the peace irrevocably broken. He looked up at his apartment window, a seemingly innocuous act that would seal his fate. The figure was standing there, silhouetted against the light of his room, a dark and menacing presence. It was staring down at him from his own room, its gaze piercing through the darkness, an ominous presence that promised nothing but dread. The haunting had crossed over, transcending the boundaries of the digital world and invading his physical reality. It had made the terrifying leap from the screen to real life, a testament to the power of the internet and the unforeseen consequences of seeking viral fame. Alex learned too late, a harsh lesson etched in fear and paranoia. Some things you invite online, some doors you open in the digital realm can have repercussions far beyond the screen. They don't stay on the screen. They can break through, blurring the lines between the virtual and the real, leaving you haunted by the very thing you sought to create. Our final story takes us into the world of social media stardom, a world where appearances can be deceiving and the line between reality and fiction blurs. It's a cautionary tale about the pressures of online fame and the dark side of seeking validation through likes and followers. This is the story of Wandering Willow, a travel influencer who captivated audiences with her breathtaking photos and adventurous spirit. She had amassed over 1 million followers, each one eager to live vicariously through her seemingly perfect life. Her influence was undeniable, her reach extensive. Her feed was a dream, a carefully curated collection of picture-perfect moments designed to inspire wanderlust and envy. Every post was meticulously planned, every filter carefully chosen. Stunning landscapes, from snow-capped mountains to turquoise beaches, form the backdrop of her idyllic existence. Each photo was a testament to the beauty of the world and the allure of adventure. Perfect outfits, effortlessly chic and always on trend, completed the image of a life lived to the fullest. She was a fashion icon, a style inspiration for her many followers. Endless adventure. Willow seemed to be constantly on the move, exploring new destinations and embracing thrilling experiences. Her life was a highlight reel of excitement and wonder. But beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect online persona, something was amiss. Gradually, her posts grew darker, a subtle shift that initially went unnoticed by most. Cryptic captions filled with veiled meanings and unsettling undertones began to accompany her photos. They hinted at a hidden struggle, a silent cry for help masked by the veneer of online perfection. Melancholic photos, a stark contrast to her usual vibrant and joyful images, started to appear on her feed. A sense of sadness and isolation permeated her posts, raising concerns among her more attentive followers. And finally, a blurry selfie, distorted and unclear, surfaced with the single chilling word, help. A desperate plea that cut through the carefully constructed facade. Panic spread among her fans like wildfire. The carefully curated world of Wandering Willow was crumbling before their eyes. The comment sections exploded with questions and concerns. Was it a stunt, a misguided attempt at viral marketing, or was she in real trouble, genuinely reaching out for help? The uncertainty was agonizing. Was it a stunt, or was she in real trouble? Then came a video, a cryptic and disturbing glimpse into the unknown. An empty, grim basement, its concrete walls and cold atmosphere radiating a sense of dread. The darkness seemed to swallow the light, creating an unsettling and claustrophobic space. Faint whispers in the background, barely audible, added to the video's unsettling nature. What were they saying? Were they a clue or simply a figment of the imagination fueled by fear? It was deleted within minutes, as if someone was trying to erase any trace of its existence. But not before thousands saw it, capturing screenshots and sharing it across the internet. The digital footprint of the video remained, a haunting reminder of Willow's distress. Her last post was a black image, a void of nothingness that mirrored the growing sense of despair surrounding her disappearance. With strange coordinates, a set of numbers that offered a potential clue to her whereabouts. And the number 14, its significance shrouded in mystery. What did it mean? Was it a code, a reference, or simply a random number? Her account went silent, the once vibrant stream of posts replaced by an eerie stillness. Followers became detectives, fueled by a desperate hope to find Willow and unravel the mystery behind her disappearance. Analyzing every clue, poring over her posts, searching for hidden messages, and dissecting every detail in the hope of finding a breakthrough. But the trail led nowhere, each lead turning into a dead end, each hope dashed against the rocks of reality. The coordinates pointed to Los Angeles, a vast and sprawling city that offered both anonymity and endless possibilities. But the meaning of 14 remained a mystery, a lingering question mark that haunted the investigation. Police investigated but found nothing, no sign of foul play, no trace of Willow. The case went cold. Weeks passed, then months, the initial flurry of activity fading into a quiet despair. Willow's account became a digital memorial, a place for fans to share their memories and express their grief. Nearly a year later, when hope had all but vanished, her account posted again, a sudden, unexpected resurrection that sent shockwaves through the online community. A photo of the same basement, the same grim and unsettling space that had appeared in her previous video. Now with a withered willow branch on the floor, a symbol of decay and loss. The caption, a haunting and enigmatic message. The tide goes out, a cryptic phrase that left more questions than answers. Then silence, forever. The account went dark once more, leaving behind a lingering sense of unease and unresolved mystery. Maya, the woman behind Willow, was never found. Her fate remains unknown, lost in the labyrinth of the digital world. Her story is a haunting reminder, a chilling example of the potential dangers lurking beneath the surface of online fame, of how the digital world can swallow someone whole, consuming their identity and leaving them lost in a sea of anonymity, leaving only questions behind, unanswered and unresolved, a testament to the ephemeral nature of online existence and the enduring power of mystery. The stories tonight reveal the darkness that can hide behind our screens. The internet connects us, but it also gives cover to those with sinister intent. Always be cautious about who you trust and what you share online. If something feels wrong, trust your instincts. Your safety comes first. If you have your own unsettling social media story, share it in the comments below. Thank you for joining me in the digital shadows. Stay safe, both online and off. Until next time, remember, some nightmares begin with a single click.